welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy and I do pick a card readings on this channel. If you have found yourself here for the very first time, we just want to welcome you to this space. Please grab yourself a seat, a chair, a cup of tea, some snacks, whatever makes you cozy, and we will settle down for a little chat because we're all friends when we gather at my table. A big welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your friendship and for being a part of my beautiful soul family. A big congratulations to this month's winner of the free tarot reading, of course. Please check your notifications because I have chosen a winner for this month's reading. So be sure to check back on your comment. And if you're interested in being considered for a future reading, please be sure to leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you are chosen the winner. So today's pick a card is all about the past, the present, and the future of the connection on your mind. This can be a connection that's ongoing. This can be someone in no contact. Whatever the case is, we have 3 piles for you to choose from today. Pile number 1 with this blue aragonite. Pile number 2 with the green malachite. Pile number 3 with the red carnelian palm. So again, today's reading is about the past, the present, and the future. The past, what has gone on, the present, currently what is happening in the dynamics of your connection, and what is going to happen moving forward between the two of you. As I said, my timestamps are below, and I'm going to jump right into pile number 1 today. Past, present, future of the connection on your mind. Hello everybody, in pile number 1 you were drawn to the blue aragonite. And this is your reading, the past, present, and the future of the connection on your mind. We're going to start with this oracle card, and this is an oracle card from the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. So thank you so much for Annika for that beautiful gift. Your card says choices, feeling blocked and restrained in your connection. So this really has a lot of lovers sort of vibes because it is a number 6, of course, and the lovers is all about a decision to be made, sometimes between 2 people. So you may find that that's perhaps an overarching theme in the dynamics of the connection on your mind today. And there's a sense of restraint here too, feeling like we are stuck between a bit of a rock and a hard place. And I'm even noticed that she's like dressed in blue, which is a really sad sort of emotional color for me. And obviously she looks sort of a little bit morose as far as what we feel is capable in the future of this connection. So I'm interested to see what is going on. So let's take a look at the past, the present, and the future of the connection on your mind. So we're going to start with the past. I'm going to pull 2 cards for each section of this reading. And then, of course, we'll get clarifying cards as we go. The past, present, and future of this connection. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles for the past, the present, the Magician, and the 6 of Pentacles and the future. Ooh, it's shot out of there. We have the 9 of Pentacles reversed. And we have the King of Pentacles. The back of the deck so far is the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to clarify as I move through this system of cards here. So we're starting in the past with these 2 cards of the 5 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. And you know, the 5 of Pentacles is really a feeling of being left in the cold and perhaps feeling a bit of ignored. Or it's like we purposefully allowed our insecurity to stop us from acting in the past of this connection. And there is sort of a vein of like, I didn't see what was sitting right in front of me. I didn't see what I think I had more time. I feel like I was rushed, or I feel like I should have had more time, or expected to have more time to make a decision here, because they were really interested in pursuit. They were really interested in being able to come full circle or to even have a relationship with you, because in some cases I feel like you never even got off the ground and you should have. And there's a sense of like them dragging their feet. Somebody in this connection decided that they were going to make a decision eventually, but the eventuallys, it ran out. You know, we ran out of time. And eventually somebody did walk away. You can even see with the Eight of Cups, it's like they walked away. They were not feeling fulfilled there. They weren't getting what they wanted. And you weren't getting what they wanted. So perhaps you are the one who walked away in this case, because they're saying that they were really frustrated with themselves, I think, for the past of this connection. And you may find that this is your energy. This definitely can be reversed energy, of course. But they thought that they had more time. They thought they had more time. That's all I want to say. And they're also sort of, it's because of fear. They were insecure about coming forward in the past. I don't think they felt like they had a lot to offer, and that bothered them. And I think that there was also, it's like they felt like they weren't, it almost feels like a physical thing. Like they felt like they weren't good looking enough, or they have a lot of self-esteem issues wrapped around their appearance in the past of this connection. So they weren't sure what reception they would receive from you, and they planned on making a move. They planned on making a move, but that just didn't happen. Even though it was like a gift sitting right in front of their face too, and that's really what they're saying. It's like a gift sitting right in front of me, dangling like a carrot. We have the Six of Swords. There's a lot of things in the present now that this person wishes that they could say to you. And I feel like a lot of it's really, really deep emotional things, but they may be stuck in some sort of karmic cycle. You may, of course, be stuck in some type of karmic relationship as well. They actually, they really put a lot of soulmate energy towards you, or at least a specialized type of feeling, because it's like they set you apart from other people and other relationships. And they definitely set you apart from whatever they're currently involved in as well. And it is this position that sort of enforces them, or creates the position where they have to leave you out in the cold, because things are very unbalanced as far as communication. I don't feel like you may not be in communication with this person at all at this point. And what they want to tell you is about all of their love that they had for you back here. It's still sitting here. And if anything, it's only grown. It's this sense of like the absence makes the heart grow fonder here. Five of Wands and the King of Wands. They get really jealous when it comes to you in the looking into the future of this connection. There's a certain amount of jealousy and want, but it's their position and that creates a lot of the setbacks here moving forward. So I do feel like this, whoops, on the floor. Yeah, Ace of Wands reversed. And I do feel like moving forward, there may not be a lot of movement in the future here, because there's a lot of frustrating delays, and it feels very frustrating, like a brutality, almost like a brutal delay. But it's because this person, perhaps, especially if you're asking about the Divine Masculine today, it's this person who is refusing to sort of step outside of their comfort zone because they're fearful of what they could lose. They have a lot to lose, is what they claim. It doesn't represent, you know, appearances are deceiving, and they have a lot of passion for you and a lot of jealousy towards you. They don't like to think of you with other people, especially moving forward. But there's not a lot of movement that we see moving forward in the future of this connection because of this. There's the Tower. Because they're the fear of the unknown, fear of breakdowns, permanent breakdowns. And you can even see on the top of the Tower, it's like the crown of the King of Pentacles getting knocked right off. It's like, I'm going to get knocked out of my position. Something that they spent a long time building up. And they like to fantasize about you, though, in the future. They like to fantasize about you in the present. And I think that there's a lot of ruminating energy between the two of you. I think that the two of you think about each other, and and almost it's like you play off on those energies, even though you're not in contact. There's still a sort of a silent communication going on right now. And I'm just seeing like a tennis ball match, a tennis match, like just being sort of knocked back and forth in this situation, in this connection. Let's get some clarity, please. What are some of the things that this person would like to communicate in the present energy to pile one, please? What are some things they would like to communicate? In the present to pile 1. You have the World. They just want to communicate, period. They want closure is what it feels. That's what they're calling it. They're calling it closure. Of course, because of the emotion that's invested, I don't think that that would be what would happen, to be honest. It feels like it would be more, it would rile it up. They do want to acknowledge that they recognize where they went wrong, and that's the other thing that they are really wanting to communicate with you in the present, because they definitely want to communicate something. They definitely, and because it's the Six of Swords with the Magician, they're still struggling in the present from their past decisions. And they could have a family at this time as well. But they're also acknowledging that they wish they could have grown that with you. And they're stuck in their position. But amidst their position, they still want to communicate with you. That's what I mean. They're calling it closure, but they still want to come in and communicate about their desires. They still want to let you know about how much they want you. And they have evolved. It's like they've grown, and it's like time has passed between the two of you. So they've had time to evolve from this knight to this king. And they really, it's almost like they want to show you how they've evolved in the passion realm. Like they want to show you that they've grown up in a way. But I do feel like they are a part of a foundation. You may be a part of the foundation as well. What do they want to communicate to pile a number 1 in the present? 3 of Pentacles, yeah. It's like they want closure so that they can keep moving forward in their current dynamic, free of some of the insecurities, free of the restlessness, free of the jealousy. But that's the problem with the intense energy that's been invested, is that it wouldn't be closure. It would rile everything up. 3 of Cups. But they miss you almost. It's like, I miss my best friend. It's like all emotional or physical or sexual feelings aside, it's like I miss my friend, and I really just miss the fun times that we had together, and that's really why they feel like they're suffering too, because you represent a more blissful time, a freer time. They do feel really restrained now by everything that they're going through, or their position in general, everything, all of the burdens on their shoulders. They are really overwhelmed by that sometimes, and they get really overwhelmed by their, again, it's almost like an obsessive energy with the Devil coming up multiple times. They see it clearly now. They see it clearly now, and they wish that they could wield that truth forward to you. In the future of the connection, we still have this maintenance of indecision, though. And it's interesting because it brings us full circle. And that's why we find ourselves in loops with these types of connections, because it brings us full circle. The same insecurity that they felt in the past, even though there weren't the practical concerns in place then, are the same insecurities that they're actually having now, because even though back then they didn't have the complications in place, they were free to act towards you perhaps, now they do have those complications in place. So they may have evolved as far as their ability to speak and their ability to bring forward with confidence and offer for you, but now there's all these practical things built up. So it's kind of an interesting evidence of how our external world is a reflection of our inner state. And no matter what the situation, if we don't address those concerns, we're going to find ourselves in those natural loops as well. They definitely wear masks. Even the Two of Swords wearing masks, not seeing things clearly because we refuse to take it off. And it is a protection. There's self-protection. Even in the Four of Pentacles here, moving forward in the future, you can see the pentacle across the heart chakra. It's like they are protecting what they've built. They're protecting their ego, their position. We have the Lovers, yeah. So not a lot of movement in the future of this connection. A lot of frustrating delays here. But there's the Four of Pentacles and the Death. The Death, you can see, is holding on to this rose of hope. And the Six of Wands is talking about victory. And that's why Spirit always wants us to understand what a great tool that tarot can be, because it's a reflection tool of what we can do to create change. Someone in this connection, or perhaps both people in this connection, need to exert some strength towards decisions that they need to make. It's like we know what we want. We just need to have the fortitude to be able to head in that direction or head down that path. And it may require putting the end to some cycle, a karmic cycle perhaps, that fuels us with this insecurity. But that's why the Death is holding on to the Rose of Hope, because we are in control of that action. If we want the rebirth in this connection, we do have to address the practical things that are getting in the way of that motion or that movement. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1. A charm bowl. Pile number 1, 2 of Wands. The past, present, and future of this connection. Advice for pile 1 in the bowl, please, about the connection on their mind. Ooh, we have the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands. The Hierophant does represent institutions like education, government, marriage. There's a stubbornness about it only because it's ruled by Taurus, and there's a sense of fortitude and strength, and it's like we become empowered by our positions sometimes. But that empowerment is actually being fueled by the ego at, often. And then we have this Ace of Wands that wants to teeter into the reversal. And it's this position, it could be a marriage, that's holding us back. And even with the Two of Wands, again, the world is in the hand, but he's got his hand on one wand and there's something behind him that he's ignoring. So it could be a marriage, again, that is sort of blocking, or a relationship that's blocking any progress moving forward in your connection. We have Chewbacca in the bowl. I haven't pulled him in a really long time, so that's interesting. I always think about sort of a nerdy interest, very narrowed interest, like cosplay or like Star Wars or something like that. We have J, the letter J. We have 2 dolphins, perhaps someone with a great laugh. It's also about somebody really funny, and somebody, it's about joy and laughter and having fun with each other. So friendship vibe. We have the High Priestess, secrets and wisdom that we've gained over time. It's like we've had epiphanies about the situation. We do have the Peace, and they claim that that's what they seek, is peace in this situation. And you may feel the same way. It's like, I just want peace, but there is more below the surface. That ember is still too hot. We do have passionate Scorpio, Scorpio in the bowl as well. All right, group number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated with you. I'm wishing you so much luck in this connection, in the present, or all of your connections. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story in the comment section below, and I would love for you to subscribe and drop me a comment so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my links below for my Etsy account, where I offer private readings, and I do have my link for Instagram down there as well. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello everyone, pile 2, you were drawn to the green malachite, and this is your reading. We're going to look into the past, the present, and the future of your connection on your mind. Your card today says falling, the unknown, descent, momentum, and change. So this is sort of reminiscent of the Tower energy. You could be afraid of momentum and change, or there could be change coming in the future of your connection as it stands presently. Now, this is the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. So there's a helplessness in the fall as well, but let's take a look at the past, present, and future energies associated with your connection and see what's going to happen in the future. So we're going to start in the past here with the past of this connection. And future of this connection, please. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like this is like a connection that it almost feels like it's destined or it's fated, and you may feel that as well. And there's something almost serendipitous about perhaps the moment that you guys met in the past. If there's like this special moment between the two of you. There's also the acknowledgement that like we didn't completely 100% recognize or understand we didn't completely understand what we had back then, or what was going on between us back then. It's like that, it took time. There's the Page of Wands. It took time to navigate that, to figure that out. And that may even be epiphanies that are coming in now. I feel like you met this person when you were young, and it's like this new potential freedom, this new road that opened up for the two of you. It's like it's really coming across as something in the past as sort of healing. It's like they showed up in your life at a time when you needed them to, or vice versa, when they needed you. Because the Star is about setting a new course. It's hopefulness. And it's adorned with all of this rainbow energy too in this deck. We have the Emperor. It's like, but there was still an understanding back then, even though you guys were young and perhaps ill-experienced, there was still an understanding back then that there's something special here. You know, it's like there's something kind of special here. And I do feel like there could have been evolutions into the present, and we're moving into the present here with these cards, about, yeah, like it's like an epiphany with that bolt of lightning. It took time for them to recognize, like, oh, you were supposed to be my person, or, oh, I should have made a different decision, because now they feel stuck from being able. It's like they have the epiphany. They know in their mind exactly who you are, but they can't act upon it. And there's the Six of Cups. Oh, my goodness. They do feel like in the present energy, moving into the present, they do feel like they have to suppress their feelings for you right now. And you may feel the same way, like you have to suppress your feelings for one another. And I feel like you're in no contact with this person presently because they want to get to you. It's like they want to travel to you. You may have, you may live in very different parts of the country, or different countries even perhaps, because it's like they want to get to you, and they may have to require air travel to get there. They do feel like they have to suppress everything. And I feel like they are like in a bit of an emotional storm. They don't show that outwardly. But it's like they really wish for reunions because they feel like that would calm the storm. But there's that Tower. There's almost a theme in the collective lately. If I'm honest, there's a very strong theme in the collective about positions being a big issue within the dynamics of connections. Because I think there's this there are epiphanies coming in for a lot of people who have found themselves, you know, investing in long-term situations, and then recognizing within, because of these epiphanies coming in with this new age, this new enlightenment, we're all sort of waking up to some truths. There's this enlightenment that, oh, well, this is perhaps stable, but it's not emotionally abundant. And it feels very strongly like that here. That it's like there's the justice is this balance they're trying to maintain in their current situation, but even it represents truth, and even this is a support, and they have to suppress it, because if they let the cat out of the bag, then they're going to well, what Spirit says is they're going to set themselves on a new course, and what they're hoping for is this calm after the storm. That's exactly what they're going to get, but they're not sure of that, so they're afraid to act towards you in the present. But they do want to. But I do feel like there are other complications, other people here in this situation. What is happening moving into the future, please? They do have a lot that they'd like to say as well. With the Eight of Wands, it definitely is a communication card. I just saw the Eight of Swords. And I do feel like you're definitely in no contact. Even the Hanged Man here, it's this bat that can't, you know, some species of bats are not very, they don't have very good eyesight. And so there's a sense of just sort of having to go off of vibration, go off of that sonar. We have the King of Cups, and there's a very strong energy that is very comparative to the energy in pile 1. So there may be a message waiting for you there as well. The King of Cups in this case is this Black Swan. And the King of Cups is a very emotional energy. It's water energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So this person could have water in their chart. But the Black Swan with the red beak, it's like I'm hiding my ability to speak. It's like they want to speak. They have things they have to say. but they're suppressing those feelings because of perhaps a family situation in the future. Can you clarify the King of Cups, please? Yeah, it feels like a third party moving forward in the future. And there is, it's like self-sacrifice for them moving forward. Self-sacrifice. It's like, I'm suffering for my love because of this situation. And I do feel like there's children here too. Here is the Three of Pentacles representing the mountain between the two of you at this time. It doesn't dull the passion. And that's, again, another coincidence between this pile and the first pile, because there is very similar energies here between even the King of Cups and the King of Wands. They both appeared in readings similar to this. And again, there's a huge, right in the center here is the Tower and your falling card. It feels like a fall that we're not in control of. So unfortunately, moving forward in this connection, we're not able to, they want to communicate. This Page of Pentacles wants to communicate, but it's like we're in a holding pattern. We're waiting for a perfect opportunity, or we're waiting for a solution that we don't have to create. What do they want to communicate in the present to pile number 1 or to pile number 2, please? What would they like to communicate to pile number 2? Three of Wands. They would like to communicate with you that they want communication and that they want to move forward. The Three of Wands often stops short at that first step, though. It's kind of like taking that step between the Three of Wands and the Four of Wands, which is his gateway to celebration, and that's the Tower moment. You know, that's making the decision to let something fall away that we have spent time investing and growing. We have the Seven of Cups. They want to tell you that they fantasize about you and that they think about you often, probably more than they deserve to or should. It's like, it's more than I'm allowed to, is what it feels like. It's more than I'm allowed to because of family unit. But again, there's such a difference to me between the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Both are very valuable to, you know, in tarot. Both are wonderful. If we're dealing with a career reading or a stability reading, we want that Ten of Pentacles. We want to see abundance, and that's great. It's stability, it's generational wealth, it's building up something for the good of other people. It's wonderful. But as I often say, we'll get to this point where we realize that it's like winning the lottery. You know, we can win the lottery and everybody dreams about winning the lottery, but you hear all these horror stories actually about the realization of winning the lottery and what it does to people's lives and what it does to people's relationships and how it just crumbles everything down. Because ultimately, that is not what our spirits crave. They want spiritual evolution. They want emotional abundance, and that's what they really fantasize about with you. But I think that there could be a long-term commitment here. If it's not an official marriage, it feels like a long-term commitment in the very least. And it's almost like they're playing with fire even there. Like it's like they know that that's not a good environment for them. They also want to say that they're really attracted to you, really attracted to you. But they're also sort of intimidated by that too. Like they're out of your league, or I'm sorry, they're out of your league, yeah. They do feel controlled by the situation. They don't feel confident that you feel the same way, and they also feel very controlled by their current partner, if they have a partner. Because even look at the bride that's dangling this little person, this little man over the side of the bank here. So their responsibilities, their investments financially, their investments with other relationships really stop them from being able to pursue, but they do. And that's what they really want to say to you. It's like, I really want to say everything to you. I want to feed the curiosity that we should have fed in the past, because there's the Page of Wands again. But you're a temptation now. You're a temptation. And they feel like it could blow up in their face if they were to do anything about how they feel. And they include you in that. They do wear masks. There's the Six of Wands. There's very similar energies here to pile 1. So just take that as it resonates. There may be a message waiting for you there as well, as I said. But they, as much as they're including you, they're saying, you know, this could hurt you, me, everybody. It could hurt everyone involved. But it's more so, they're more concerned about themselves in this very, very present moment. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. Advice for pile number 2 concerning this connection. We have the Seven of Pentacles. You know, the Seven of Pentacles is about, you know, patience, of course. It's about taking pause. It's like an exhaustion. It's like taking pause to reflect upon the seeds that we've planted. And there's a certain amount of exhaustion, perhaps for you or perhaps for your person, within the dynamics of this Ten of Pentacles. So a family unit, a marriage, a situation like that. And when we reach these moments of exhaustion, when we have these epiphanies truly about how we feel in regards to our current situation, it's an opportunity. Those epiphanies are moments of opportunity for reflection. It's a moment for us to pause so that we can decide whether we want to proceed towards that Ten of Pentacles or whether we want to plant a new garden. And that's the struggle here. That's the challenge, and that's what challenges us the most, is when we have invested so much time and effort into something and other people's expectations are wrapped around those steps that we've taken too. The challenge for us is then to fight that ego off, fight off the fear of the unknown, and to act accordingly in an honest way. Star reverse. The Star reverse is not a very hopeful card in the future of this connection, but we have this Seven of Wands in the center, which is encouraging us to reflect and to reflect upon what actions we can take to create change in the situation. And we may need to actually reflect upon our own time and energy investments and where we're presently sitting, and make changes there within what we're capable of creating change within, so that we can create space for something more. But in the future of this connection, there's a lot of hopeless energy coming in, because this person, or perhaps it's you, but because of this person's unwillingness to kind of cause pain. They don't want anybody to get hurt, but especially themselves too. They don't want anybody to get hurt. Oh, we've got baby feet here. We have the snake, temptation, somebody who feels maybe a little sneaky. We have P, B, and V. We do have special, a very special connection. And we also have the honeybee, which is a self-sacrifice charm for me. I love my dog. And we also have the mermaid, which is a siren, a temptation. We have the Ace of Swords here, which is the truth, the epiphany of how they feel coming in for you. And we have the little white pants. I think about nursing gown, or like a nursing outfit, or like scrubs from a hospital when I see that, but take that as it resonates to your situation. We also have the hammer, wanting to put a lot of effort into their current situation. They could be somebody who really works with their hands as well. All right, that's what I have for you today, pile number 2. If it resonates with you, I would love to hear your story below in the comment section. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell and your like button if you feel called to, and drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my Etsy account for a personal reading if you feel called to as well, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the red carnelian palm, and this is your reading, the past, present, and future of the connection on your mind. Your oracle card today is the Painting the Roses Red, Covering Up Errors card. So in this card, you can see she's painting all those white roses red, all the roses of hope. Somebody feels like they made some big mistakes here, and they may be sort of in a state of not wanting to actually admit their mistakes 100%. They could have a bit of a chip on their shoulder. I almost expect to see the Nine of Wands come up in some way in your reading because of the frustration that I feel from this card, even in her countenance. You know, but it's being fueled by the pain. I feel like there's sadness between the two of you at this time as well, because it's like we made mistakes. We know that we made mistakes, or somebody in this connection knows they made big mistakes, but their pride may sort of get in the way of allowing them to admit those mistakes. So let's take a look at the past, present, and future of this connection. So we're going to start with the past here with like a small card spread. Move into the present energy and then the future, of course. So in the past here, Spirit, what was going on in the past of this connection? Ooh. We have the Knight of Wands. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. And there is a bit of an ego on the Knight of Wands. He has a lot of prideful energy. Let's try that again. That's too much of an explosion. Past this connection, please. The Ten of Swords. Everything is fine, it says. We clarify those cards, please. The past of this connection. The Knight of Wands and the Ten of Swords. We have the Empress and the Queen of Swords. I do feel like it's like you had to create firm boundaries, perhaps, with this person. Even the back of the deck says, I'm over it on her shirt, and it's the Four of Cups. It's a very apathetic energy. And you can see it's like the universe coming in with this offer, and she's just not ignoring it purposefully. It's like, I'm ignoring the offer. And in the past, I feel like this person was a little bit too impulsive with their actions, and they didn't really think things through 100%. And those things came back to bite them. They have come back to bite them. And it's like in the past, they weren't really ready to admit that either. They weren't ready to admit the devastation that they felt when you perhaps ended it. Even in the card, it says everything's fine. It's like, I'm fine. But the Ten of Swords is a very sad card. It's endings. It's something I had my heart set upon because they were really, really physically drawn to you, really physically attracted to you, especially in the past here. But it was their attraction to you in the physical sense. It was very present, but there's also this message coming in about how they weren't ready to see the truth of this connection at that time. They just weren't mature enough, or it's like they weren't ready. It's like just on an ascension scale, they weren't ready to see you for who you were and to see your value. And that's on them. That's a reflection of them and not your worth 100%, but they just weren't ready to see you. So when you recognize that, because you do know your worth, and even if you didn't, I'm so proud of you for creating, strong barriers and boundaries with this person. And you're like, I don't accept that. It's like, I can't do this. So you may have cut them out of your life in the past here, and they may have acted like they're fine with it, giving you the impression that they're fine with it. So you may sort of look at the situation in the past thinking, wow, I made huge mistakes here just with this person in general. It's like, I wish I'd never put myself through that. And in the same vein, they perhaps were coming from this place of, well, I made this mistake, but I'm not ready to admit that. And so they're trying to cover up some of those mistakes. But what's underneath this Four of Cups is the King of Swords. And that's why I mean, it's like inner reflection. The full process of that is going to bring them to that realization that the two of you are actually pretty well matched, and that they let something amazing slip through their fingers. We have the Three of Pentacles. What's going on in the present of this connection? Six of Cups. I do feel like you are not in contact with this person at this time. And you may be in a little bit of contact with them, maybe here and there. The Four of Swords. And as much as you may have created firm boundaries for this person, and you may have moved forward even into another connection at this time, or you may be trying to rebuild your life in some type of way, period. It's like, even though it's like you knew you had to do it, it was still hard for you. It's still a painful situation, and you're not 100% over it. Like, you're, as much as as much as you've created firm boundaries, as much as maybe even you're putting out this persona of like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm 100% over it myself, you could be sharing some of that energy of the Four of Cups, because there's still energy of pain and the need for healing with this Four of Swords. It's supposed to be a meditative card that does encourage us to rest, but she looks like she's suffering still. And so I think that you're still in the thick of it, and you may feel a little bit stuck in that emotion, and that's okay. Spirit wants you to allow those transitions of grief to flow over you. When we try to stop them, when we suppress them, when we push them down, we just prolong our own pain. The Six of Cups is a soulmate energy card for me. I can't deny that. Not everybody's subscribed to that idea. We do have the Two of Swords, and we do have the Emperor. And I will say this, that as much as in the past they were like, oh, I'm over it, it's fine, there has been a little bit of a progress as far as the emotional loss that they felt, because they do want reunions. They are recognizing that they didn't see what was sitting in front of them, and that, but it's still their ego that's stopping them from perhaps creating momentum. But I'm interested to see what the future holds, because in the present energy they do long for more. They do long for more, and what I really love is that they're cloaked in this red energy, and I love the color red. It's my favorite color, but it's of course passion and desire. It's empowerment. So they could be feeling a little bit empowered, and it honestly, it's some of their ego that helps that situation. There is a stubbornness though about this person. I just saw the Eight of Cups. The future of this connection. What's coming up in the future of this connection for pile number 3, please? Just saw the Chariot, Six of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. Five of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. Oops. And the Star. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. You know what it really feels like moving into the future in your connection? It's like the boundaries that you set here almost made you more attractive to them moving forward. The boundaries, it's like, and you may have been like one of the first people to sort of really call them out on some of their stuff in the past, because it's like if they thought that everything was fine and they've given up over here. In the future we have the Nine of Swords, which means they're still worrying about it, still thinking about it, losing sleep, because the realization has hit them that, oh my gosh, this might be a loss that I have to experience forever, and that's really terrible, and that feels really terrible. But it's not a hopeless situation. I have to say this. It is not a hopeless situation. And it's almost like if they're watching you, and I feel like in some cases they may be, they like what they see. Of course, still, you're still this beautiful Empress. You're still the beautiful Queen. But it's almost like your independence makes you way more attractive. Your independence makes them want you even more in the future. And you're like, it's like this, it's like you're dangled in front of them like this carrot. She's holding onto this carrot because they still want more in this situation. We do have the Five of Cups in the future position. And that's being fueled by this overthinking process of the Nine of Swords. They're fueling their own misery, their own emotional misery moving forward, but it's not a hopeless situation. Can we clarify the Five of Cups, please, in the future for pile 3? Because it's being fueled, it's even being supported by the Star. And there's the Nine of Swords again. But they are, this person really is worried that you're done. That you may be like in a position where you're like, no, you know what, I've evolved, I've moved past it. But then there's the Queen of Cups, which shows that, you know, I think that you're not 100% past it. And there's a permanency of love in her heart. Can we clarify the Five of Cups, please? Five of Swords. It is part of them, it's almost like part of them realizes it's like it is easier if she's done or he's done. Like, it is easier if that's the case, because that means I don't have to face up to any of the stuff back here. I don't have to face my ego. I can just, but they don't win. Nobody wins then. There's the Three of Swords. Back of the deck is the Seven of Wands. We have the Tower. We have the Queen of Swords. So you may be done in the future here. You may be 100% done, and this is going to really, it's almost like as soon as you close the door, it's like they wanted you more and more and more. As soon as you created firm boundaries, they wanted you more and more. And I feel like they may come towards you in the future. They're really nervous about that. And you actually may be nervous about them coming forward too, because as much as you may feel confident and secure, you may feel that emotional weakness for this person. And so you may be worried about them coming forward too, and they may. But it still might be over. You may still maintain those boundaries. What would they like to say to you in the present energy? Let's take a look at that. What would they like to say? What would they communicate right this moment? Just saw the Hanged Man. I just saw the Death card as well. What would they say to pile 3 in the present if they could say anything right this moment? We have the Queen of Wands reversed. Are you mad at me? That's what they say. Are you angry with me? Because they're afraid to come forward. And you can see with the mask on with the Five of Swords, there's this Five of Swords again. This sense of like, it's going to blow up in my face if I come towards you. Are you angry at me? Because they're really intimidated by that Queen of Wands reversed. That black cat is a warning for us, especially in the reverse. If you ever tried to hang a cat upside down, they definitely don't like that. So we have the Nine of Swords. Oh my goodness. They have, it's almost depression. It feels like they're so anxious. Reality has hit them like a ton of bricks. Reality has definitely hit them like a ton of bricks in this connection. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I was such an idiot. That's what it feels like. But it's deserved. They're saying that. It's like, if you're mad at me, I understand because it's deserved. I feel like this person really knows what to say too. And I think that that's served them in the past, but you're too smart for that. We have the Page of Cups. They definitely want to say that they want to come forward, that they've thought about communicating with you and talking to you and out of the blue. They've even sort of perhaps formulated messages to you too that they've never sent out. But it's their ego that stops them from doing that. There's the Magician. They want to talk to you. They want to go down a new pathway with you. And that's their dream too. The Nine of Swords with the Nine of Cups. It's like they fantasize about you, but there's also a smugness about this person. And I almost feel like there's like a collection of people. Like this Nine of Cups is sitting here and there's this collection of admirers behind him. So I think that this is somebody who is used to having people chase them. And you may be the first person that's like, no, I'm not chasing you. You're the Empress. It's like, I'm not going to chase you. But as soon as you said that, they're like, well, this is exactly what I want then. It's like you are now in control of the rabbit. And that's how I really see them here with this Knight of Wands, kind of like the Page of Wands energy. It's like the rabbit. It's like someone reckless, someone impulsive, someone that it's almost like what I'm seeing is a Springer Spaniel. Have you ever seen a Springer Spaniel? It's like they can't keep their focus on anything. If there's a ball over here, they're going to look over here. If there's a stick over here, they're going to look over there. That's what it feels like in this energy. It's like, but you now have control of that rabbit. And it's like they want to prove to you that they're dependable in this present energy. And they're still holding space for more. They're still holding hope out that there can be more here. But I will say this person still could be out there sort of dating, playing the field as well at the same time. In the same breath that they're like, I want to be dependable. I want to show you that we can build together. And then, but they could still be juggling other situations, other opportunities in that exact same breath. So we don't see well, I feel like it's really up to you, if I'm honest. I do feel like this person will move forward towards you in the future. But you may not be ready for that. I think you're a little nervous about them doing it because it'll challenge your position of independence. It'll challenge your position of all the gains you've made here, because I think that you did struggle with the boundaries you set, and it was hard for you to do that. But they may come forward, so Spirit is warning you about that. But the choices you make within the dynamics of that gateway or that offer that's going to pop up for you out of the blue is absolutely 100% your choice to make, your pathway to walk, and they will walk it with you. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile 3. Advice for pile number 3 in regards to this connection on their, whoops, mine, we have 1. It's the 5 of Swords in the reverse position. It's a problem, wanting to resolve the issues and the arguments and the problems between the two of you. King of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles. I think that there's perhaps an emotional immaturity that we deal with this person's energy a little bit. You may, I think that you're much more emotionally involved than they are. The King of Cups is sideways here, which means that this person could sometimes sort of get over emotional, or it's like they get, it's like they, I don't want to say emotional temper tantrums, but that's what I feel like. I feel like they could have emotional temper tantrums sometimes. But it's a reflection of where they are right this moment. Spirit doesn't want to sort of paint a terrible light on them or anything. They are an evolution in and of themselves, and they will evolve from this state of this Knight of Wands. They will move forward. But you may just find that things are really imbalanced right this moment. And they themselves are feeling sort of like the tides have shifted and the power has sort of shifted gears here, and they feel the ones that are sort of begging for scraps from you. It's like in the future they may be the ones kind of on their knees coming forward, and you are the one who is now empowered to make a decision and to create change. Whoops, we have the music notes. A little pinch here. We have will run in the bowl. We have I will. And then we have will run. And it says, how I feel about you makes my heart long to be free. We do have going with the flow with the seahorse. We have the letter E. And we have looking at things from a higher perspective with the wing. We have the 2 music notes. You may feel really connected to this person despite everything that the two of you have sort of gone through. There's still something you can't deny. And we do have the Empress and the Emperor here together with the Wheel of Fortune and the Star. So there is very strong energy between you, including the 6 of Cups, because we have the infinity symbol here too. And then we have the DNA helix. Right, I always think about that. And there could be some sort of school connection here or some type of medical connection. But I always think about, you know, something sort of instilled in us preemptively. So it's like a connection that was sort of written into our DNA before we even came down here. This person could be a little bit of a codependent type of person as well, who runs from commitment a little bit. All right, pile 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated. If it did, I would love for you to drop me a comment below in the comment section and subscribe to the channel so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. Congratulations to this month's winner. You can also check me out for a personal reading in my Etsy shop, and that link is below as well. But I hope that you come back for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.